Charlie, Unim Red. This is Red. It is a pill that has been trending on X and on TikTok for a while now, with videos like this circulating everywhere. And if you don't do anything about it, it is going to destroy our youth forever. If you have been on Twitter for the past few days, you have probably seen the hashtag #StopRed trending. Pioneered by famous accounts like Carly J, it is a movement that has mobilized online to stop the consumption of this pill, Red, aka Red 225, aka 225, aka Tramadol 225. There are tons of videos of people exhibiting weird zombie-like behavior after taking these drugs. These drugs are usually advertised to the people who consume them as performance-enhancing drugs that numb pain, provide energy and vitality, but at the end of the day, end up producing the opposite effect. And a lot of people are hooked on it all across the country, namely in the Ashanti and northern regions. This is why this needs to be a concern of ours as a country, because this might just be the start of our own opioid crisis. So, what is Tramadol 225? Well, it is an opioid pain reliever used to treat moderate to severe pain. This medicine is not for sisimodin. It is a drug used for people with serious chronic pains and post-surgery pains. 225 is not an officially recognized dose. In fact, it is illegal and heavily regulated in several countries across the world for its abusive and addictive nature. But what makes it so dangerous is the fact that it is an opioid. Opioids are a class of drugs that act on the brain's opioid receptors to relieve pain. So basically, they directly go to your brain and relieve pain from there. Because of this, they are super effective. And if you don't know, opioids have caused serious problems in America since the 90s, causing havoc and claiming lives. You see, one of the main effects of opioids that is apart from being very effective, it is that it can be very addictive and one can easily overdose. But you see, these drug manufacturing companies that make these opioids didn't really care as long as they got to make money from it. In the 1990s, Purdue Pharma misled doctors into believing that prescription opioids like Oxycontin were non-addictive, creating ad campaigns that championed the drug's effectiveness over its addictive nature.
Pseudo-addiction is a term that refers to behaviors that could be mistaken for true addiction, but are really just signs that you're not experiencing an adequate level of pain control.
Addiction, when treating pain, is distinctly uncommon. If a person does not have a personal history of substance abuse, and does not have a history in the family of substance abuse, and does not have a very major psychiatric disorder, most doctors can feel very assured that that person is not going to become addicted.
Regulations were weakened, and doctors started prescribing opioids in large quantities for chronic pain. Patients became dependent, hooked even, leading to widespread misuse. But then, in the 2000s, the government tightened up regulation, making sure that only the people who really needed opioids could get them. However, that didn't really solve the problem, because the people who were now dependent and addicted to these drugs and couldn't afford to get them had to turn to something cheaper and available: heroin.
My problem is I'm addicted to heroin, so that's basically why I can't get off the street. I ended up losing my job in the housing industry when the market went down, and I was addicted to painkillers. And when the painkillers got too expensive, I switched to heroin.
And when heroin wasn't enough, a new, deadlier player entered into the chat: fentanyl.
Overdose deaths from opioids like fentanyl are soaring in Minnesota.
This is the new young face of fentanyl addiction, before and after.
They can go by the street names China White or China Girl, or the more scientific names Actic, Duragesic. Most know it as fentanyl.
This synthetic opioid, which is 50 times stronger than heroin and up to 100 times stronger than morphine, flooded both the legal and illegal markets. It is so powerful that this much can finish an elephant. And well, I can think of one elephant that it should finish right now for us. It was cheap to produce, easy to smuggle, and devastatingly potent. Drug dealers started mixing it into heroin and other counterfeit pills, and before long, overdose cases skyrocketed to 70,000 deaths a year by 2017 alone. Major towns and cities have been destroyed by this epidemic, with people in the streets exhibiting the same zombie-like behavior we are now seeing in Ghana today. A lot of them homeless and destitute. We have lost so many celebrities to this crisis. Mac Miller, Lil Peep, Whitney Houston, Prince, and so many others. This is no longer just an American problem. It has become a global epidemic, now making its way to Ghana, and we really don't want that. So now the question is, where is Red even coming from? Well, in America, illegal opioids are coming from across the Mexican border, from major cartels. But in Ghana and West Africa, it is coming from places like India.
This here, all this is 225 Tramadol.
Which is illegal.
Tramadol is a catch-all name to describe the range of opioids used as street drugs. It's estimated more than 4 million people in Nigeria are misusing some form of opioid.
We're having a problem coming in from another country. It has become a big menace in Nigeria.
And which country is that?
India.
In a recent BBC documentary, they uncovered companies that manufacture and smuggle these drugs onto the continent.
We know the name of the company. Now we need to find the people at the top. An undercover operative agreed to go to Aveo's factory, posing as a businessman looking to supply opioids to Nigeria.
We're here to see Mr. Sharma. Thank you.
The seriousness of this crisis cannot be underestimated. Red is just the beginning of terrible things to come if we continue on this trajectory with nothing being done by the FDA or the government. These people we are seeing now are lost. A lot of them are already addicts. And soon enough, these drug cartels will figure out a way to get fentanyl into this country. And that is going to destroy a lot of our youth. A youth already struggling to survive in this country. This is serious business, not just a hashtag.